Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Brandy, and if you're new here, that means this is probably the first garage video that you are seeing, and this is actually the last video of a 5-part series. So if you haven't seen the other videos, definitely make sure to check them out. I will leave them linked in the description box below. I am so excited to finally be bringing you guys this video. It has been a long time coming. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It helps small creators like myself so much. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this. In order to fully grasp what my garage looked like, we are jumping back to October 12th of last year. And this, and my husband, that is my husband, but this is what my garage looked like. It was a first impression of our house and our family and how we live, and I had never thought of it that way. So, as you probably remember, if you saw my first video in this series, my husband was watching a TV show and the guy was like spieling on and on about something. And then all of a sudden, I heard him say, you know, like when you pass by somebody's house and they have their garage door opened, you can see what the inside of their house looks like. And I was just blown away. And I stopped and I thought about it and I was like, you're joking, right? And then I got on here and I actually like asked you guys the same thing, and a lot of you thought the same way, and I had just never seen it that way. I spend so much time in my house and just trying to maintain everything and keeping up after the kids that I never put any thought or consideration or time into my garage. And that all changed. Honestly, looking back, I needed that motivation, and hopefully this video can give you the motivation that I desperately needed, but maybe in a little bit nicer of a way and not just some random man telling you. Well, I guess I could be a random woman. Oh goodness. Okay, so this built-in shelving unit definitely made the most drastic change for us. It has storage for everything. And although this garage from start to finish was not a weekend project, this built-in shelving unit was, which I am very thankful for. It made such a quick, drastic difference, and it has storage for almost everything that you would find in a typical garage. And towards the end of the video, when everything is in its set place, I will go over everything in greater detail just to give you a better idea of what's in each bin. But now that I caught y'all up to speed, we are going to jump into the most recent footage that I took, and it just happens to be the last few days of me working on this garage, putting the final touches on, and sharing the final reveal. You guys, I cannot believe we're finally here. It feels like it took forever, and I think it's because it kind of did, but I'm gonna go ahead and share the last few days of this journey with you guys. Don't you worry, I solved that scooter dilemma, and I also picked up this bag on Amazon. It's just a super cheap laundry bag to corral all of the balls that float around our garage in. We're also going to be putting up a hook for that longboard. So today is where all of the fun happens. It's been so much work up until now, but now I get to add the hooks and the little finishing touches that are going to make things function so much better.
I'm laying down it to compile it. Oh no, I see you only when you're ballin'. Oh no, I don't even care to doubt. I'll see you in a while, cause this time I will choose you, yeah. Now choose. You know exactly how to look like this. Holding in a bag full of goods and needs. I need a night like this. Knowing it's a risk cause you're using it. You got all your secrets. I can see.
As you're about to see, this bottom right screw gave me a run for my money, and what ended up happening is that I've purchased these hooks multiple times and I didn't realize they had different screws, so I definitely need to go back and just swap out the screws and try and figure it out better. But you know what? Something I've realized, if you want to try your hand at something, shiplap, board and batten, any type of accent wall, try it in your garage. It is so liberating. I just kept thinking to myself, it's the garage. It'll be okay. Even if I sell the house in a few years, it's literally the garage. It's fine. So if you are wanting to experiment with a new accent wall or a new paint color even, try it out in your garage. Now that the hooks are up, we are going to jump into a rather quick project. I guess it depends if you mess it up like I did. I somehow always manage to mess up even the easiest projects. I cut mine at 16 inches, like the end pieces you're about to see me add, and they were supposed to be 15 inches. So, like that piece I just put down, that's supposed to be 15 inches, and then everything would have just been super easy. But of course, I like to complicate things around here. So for this project, I used all scrap wood. So this literally cost me $0, and it is making such a huge impact in my garage. If you saw the entire series, you constantly saw my struggle with the scooters. They're just always laying all over the garage. We're tripping over them. We have nowhere to put them. If you lean them up against something, they slide down. And this completely solved it. So with my little boo-boo, I ended up having to add another 2x4 into one of the spaces, but it was totally fine. Like, it ended up working out. But if I were to do this again, cutting them at the 15 inches and then doing 3-inch spaces apart would be perfect, because the scooters just kind of sit there. So I definitely recommend this project. It had the potential of taking maybe 10 minutes. As you can see, I'm in my paint clothes, and I was actually painting the china cabinet. So I figured I would try and do this super quick project in between coats of paint. But you guys, we got it done, and I'm going to keep in the footage of me totally messing everything up and trying to fix it. I ended up just doing 3-inch spaces for the 2 first boards, and I don't know why I didn't stop and think, okay, Brandy, something is not measuring up. We just have to trim something. That would have made life so much easier, but it's okay.
But I can't help to fall for you repeatedly. I don't wanna seem to shaky. Oh no, like I'm sudden but I'm steady. Oh no, and they tell me to move on, cause I deserve more, but still I wanna choose you, yeah. I'll choose. You know exactly how to look like this. Holding in a bag full of goods and needs. I need a night like this. Knowing it's a risk cause you're using it. You got all your secrets. I can seem to move this thing. You're pulling me out, then I'm right back in. I'm on the sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway, waiting for your lead. I don't wanna fall in love like this, but I can't help to fall for you repeatedly. I'm on the sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway, waiting for.
I may have taken the long road on this scooter stand, but it works perfectly. And now we're going to start filling up my china cabinet that I decided to refinish to use in the garage, which I know some people didn't exactly like that idea, but I thought it would be perfect for now. And then if I decide to sell it a few months or a few years down the road, I can always just resell it. The cabinets for garages are expensive. The one that I liked was $399, and we got this cabinet for $35, like probably about a year ago, knowing me, but it worked perfectly. It's serving its purpose. So we're going to go ahead and start filling it up now that I have it refinished. I do have some clips of me refinishing that I'll add to the end of this video, because that, my friends, was a project all in itself.
Hold up just a minute. Been looking for some help just to find myself. Yeah. Been losing my focus like 1,000 times before. Can't take this anymore. Cause I've been looking for something to change thoughts into motion. Been waiting way too long. Yeah, waiting just for somebody to love and to surround me and to handle my emotions. I was out waiting for something, and if I close my eyes, it's all been a waste of time. I was out if you can't be by yourself. Yeah. I got my problems. Lately I've been fading out, holding out, waiting just for somebody to love and to surround me and to handle my emotions. I was out waiting for something, and if I close my eyes, it's all been a waste of time.
So on today's agenda, it's just to finish everything, literally. We were leaving for Florida the next day, and I was determined to have this garage finished, so much so that I ended up staying up all night long to pack. So I stayed up and packed all night, and then I woke Michael up at 4 a.m. and I was like, all right, you ready to hit the road? And then I slept in the car for the 8 hours. So it did end up working out. I got the garage done, but unfortunately, I did not get the video edited and the voiceover done. When we're in Florida, we stay with my parents, so we just kind of soak up that time, and then we went to Disney World for a few days. So we just kind of took it all in. The kids are now on summer break, so I just have a lot of time management things to figure out. But right now, you just saw us put up the Craftsman VersaTrack, and this thing is awesome. I know there's lots of different brands that have different tracks out there, but they all have the same purpose. And then I grabbed these 3 attachments. I did the basket so we can use it for compressor parts, things like that, one for extension cords, and then one to hold up the sawhorses. And my goal was to just get everything that gets piled right here in the corner up and off the ground, and you're gonna see our lumber rack also made a huge difference in this corner too. That was supposed to have a home.
It does have a home.
That's not a real home.
It's snuggling with its friend.
Okay, let's just show them what this looks like now.
I was out driving every mile, and now if I rewind.
Look how much better that looks. I'm not happy with the propane tank there, but he said that's the replacement pile, so we're gonna go with that. Replacement pile.
It's all been a waste of time.
I ended up taking one of the bins that I had on this wall down that had sandpaper in it, and I moved it over to the china cabinet, which I showed you a little bit earlier. So that freed up a bin that I was able to use for gardening tools. And then this bin, it just was like a collect-all of way too many things. So I decided to take out some of the paint supplies that I use on a pretty regular basis and move that over to the other drawer in the china cabinet. So that is currently working perfectly. So it did take me up until the last day to get those bins organized, and they're still not perfectly organized, which I know they'll never be perfectly organized, but I guess what I mean is they're not being used as well as I think they could be used, so I don't want to put labels on anything yet. But this bin that has all of my ruggables in it has kind of become a collect-all, and you know, anytime you have a surface, it's going to be cluttered. So that is exactly what keeps happening to this bin. So you'll see me coming back to this bin a few more times, I think, to clear off the clutter. But right now, Michael is going to start building our lumber rack. And this was another thing that made a huge difference, because like the scooters, I had been tripping over pieces of wood for the last 7 months. So it is so nice getting all of this stuff up and off the ground. I didn't end up coming up with something for remnants of plywood, but this worked perfectly for all of the lumber that we had laying around the garage. And this was actually all done with spare lumber from the built-in on the other side of the garage. So it really did work out perfectly. I was able to make the scooter stand. We were able to do the lumber rack. And there are so many of these lumber rack tutorials floating around YouTube. And I had ordered one on Amazon, and it was $49. And they were like metal brackets. And I was like, you know what? We have all of this wood laying everywhere. We need to just build our own. So we ended up just kind of picking a length that we honestly had enough boards to get that, like the long length out of. And then we just cut a bunch of scrap pieces, and we cut the scrap pieces at, I believe, 12 inches, but I know some people went up to like 14 inches. And we did cut one of the ends of the arms at a 5-degree angle. That way it would give it that upward slant for the boards where they would not slide off. The next step was to screw the brackets directly to the studs. So Michael ended up finding the studs. And then we decided how high up we wanted the arms to go, because clearly the garage door opener would get in the way. And then if I wanted to do like a 12-foot piece of lumber, I wanted it to clear the top of the china cabinet. So That's honestly how we decided where to put the lumber racks. And then obviously we had the VersaTrack, so we figured out the spacing for the VersaTrack and we used just a little scrap piece of 1x4. And I was thinking we would do like the 4-inch, which would really be a 3.5-inch gap, which put it up too high. And then my son was like, wait, just turn it on its side. And it worked perfectly. So we went with that, and then we just screwed all of the brackets into the wall, and we did just screw the middle part of the bracket into the wall first. That way we could still wiggle the top and the bottom to level it out. Or if we decided that the boards weren't laying level, we could take it down easier. So that definitely worked out well too. So you'll see we put the first screw in, and then Michael comes back later and finishes screwing it to the wall.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. You came right out of the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're at a tight end. I got you, and you got me too. We can always make it through.
Another thing I need to come up with is something to put the scrap pieces of wood. I do not like having those smaller pieces up there, so I definitely need to come up with something different for that. And yes, don't worry, we're not keeping the bucket of wood up there. But I do really want to figure out how to get those smaller pieces off, just because that is definitely a hazard. If you are messing with the longer pieces of wood, the smaller ones will definitely fall down. But we're going to go ahead and continue to fill up this china cabinet. And I did kind of move the footage out of order because I wanted to finish the lumber rack and keep all of that footage together. So you'll notice when I'm working here, the lumber rack is not there, but it's all good. I wanted to keep it nice and organized. We're going to go ahead and fill up the bottom of this china cabinet. And yes, I have not opened my Craig jig. I'm pretty sure I got that for my birthday last year, maybe the year before last. And this is all really funny because I also had a paint sprayer and a paint spraying tent that I had never touched before. Like, I had to go back 4 years to find a YouTube video on how to use my paint sprayer because it was that old. Brand new in the box, never touched. Right along with my spray paint tent. I think I got that probably a year or two ago. And having my garage emptied out gave me the motivation to bring it all out and use it. So I actually used my paint sprayer for the first time on the china cabinet, and it was so fun. There was definitely a learning curve though, a quite large and messy learning curve, but I was able to figure it out. The only spraying of paint I've ever done is a can of spray paint, so I was totally new to this. And I mean, I've watched YouTube videos and I've seen so many videos of people using paint sprayers on furniture flips, but actually doing it yourself was a little tricky. But I ended up getting these new knobs at Hobby Lobby, and I also got the pulls on the bottom half at Hobby Lobby. I was debating doing a gold hardware, but I could not find one that I loved. So I figured if I got these knobs and pulls, I could always add some rub and buff later on. But I'm actually liking the black. It just kind of goes better with the garage.
What we do is what we do. I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared. You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you,
I ordered this shoe organizer off Amazon and I love it. I had originally ordered one earlier and it was like plastic and mesh, so I definitely did not read the description very well. And this one is metal, it has a cute little wood top. I love it. There's room on the bottom for boots. My goal is to keep like Crocs, flip-flops, play shoes, things like that out here. Our shoe closet is extremely overcrowded, so I'm hoping that having this out here helps with that problem. But we are going to clear off this bin one more time, and then I'm going to clean up the things that I've collected on the floor. And that dog fencing was actually at my sister's house. We still have stuff in her pole barn from when we lived there like 2 years ago. So we ended up bringing that back, but Michael will end up taking it out to the shed because that is where it is going to live. And I somehow do not have any footage of me putting up that longboard holder. And what I used is awesome, so I will definitely leave it linked in the description box. I got it on Amazon and it was actually a 2-pack. And then Michael did end up also hanging up a dirt bike helmet hook above the bicycles for Scotty's dirt bike helmet. So it is just so nice having a place for everything. I know it's going to get messy again, but when everything has a home, it'll be super easy to just go put everything away. The last thing we are hanging up today is this hook that I got at Harbor Freight. It was sitting next to the checkout counter and it was $1.99. So I was like, you know what can we lose? And it actually works really well for the extension cords that we're going to end up keeping next to the only outlet that we have in our garage. I also want to come up with some type of hook to put on the wall next to the outlet for our golf cart charger. That way that's not also like always laying on the ground, just waiting to be ran over. But you guys, we are officially done. I'm going to stick this little stool in the corner and we are going to call it good. This garage has pushed me to my limits at times, but here we are, and here are all the bins and how I have them kind of organized for now. And some of these things could definitely end up changing just with the seasons or projects that we're currently doing. Pretty sure the coolers will stay up there. I have some paint trays in that bin on the left next to our pool inflatables. And now these little bins, the top left is actually some like gardening shovels and then some screws that I'm using for a gardening project. Under that we have drywall repair things. Under that one, I have some Craig jig screws. The top middle bin has shims and contour gauges. We use a lot of shims around here. Under that, I have some citronella candles, vacuum attachments under that one. That top bin has our caulking and caulk guns. Under that is an electrical bin, and under that one is our masks and safety goggles. The next bin at the top has work gloves. Under that is paint accessories, and the last two, the top one is used rollers, and the bottom one has new rollers. In these bins, I have just random outside toys in that first bin, bike accessories like knee pads, elbow pads, an extra bike seat. That bin right here is pickleballs, and the last bin are the pickleball paddles. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into an overview, and then I will catch back up with y'all.
Turn the tide, let the water go where it wants to go. You can run and hide, you can bury yourself beneath the stones. Somebody told me don't pretend, 'cause everyone could use a friend sometimes. Take some good advice. Don't let your fear decide. That's how you break inside. You don't need to worry. me take a breath. Let me be a part of something real. Someone said it's better when you hold on to a helping hand. Sometimes we could all use a friend. Don't let your fear decide. That's how you break inside. You don't need to worry. Somebody's waiting down the line to pick up the pieces. Hey, you'll be alright. You'll be alright. Waiting down the line. So don't let your fear decide. That's how you break inside. You don't need to worry. Somebody's waiting down the line to pick up the pieces. Hey, you'll be alright. There will be someone waiting down the line. I wanna do it all with you by my side. If you're in, meet me here tonight. Be brave and come along. I'll be your ride. Promise we don't need no brake lights. We can travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next.
I cannot believe this garage is done. I have never done a series like this. I have never worked so hard on a space before. This garage definitely gave me a run for my money, but I am so proud of it. I didn't know I could be that proud of a garage, but here I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and I hope you guys decide to stick around and hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I think in the next few weeks, I'm going to go ahead and put together a marathon style video of all 5 of the garage videos. So it'll all be in one place. And I think that will just be super fun to put together and see it all happen in one video. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been a long time coming. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me, and I will see you in next week's hopefully air-conditioned video. Bye, friends.
Here we go.
What are you doing? Why are you in my tent?
Pass my left.